The following podcast may contain strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Hallmark of Greatness Guilty Pleasures, a special edition of the podcast where our guests take us through films that they love that are universally hated. I'm Joe, and with me as always, whirling about the place with an actual real knife off his nut on coke, it's James.
Charlie!
That's what they call it on the street, yes. And back off his holidays, arriving in style at the studio in his stealth boat, it's Planty.
G'day, Cobber. I'm British or something. Jesus. Great episode, by the way. Absolutely falling about laughing listening to that while I was doing the housework.
Ethan was so excited. And
Which made one of you.
Again, in hindsight, it's a great film. I
haven't seen it since I saw it at the cinema.
It was great. He sold it really well.
He did. And if you've got a couple of people around, it's a house party film.
Yeah.
Couple of people around, couple of drinks, chatting over it. Wait for this bit. Yeah, it's a cracker. But that's last episode, Street Fighter 2 with Ethan Edwards, if you want to go, and John from Damn It Vacant as well, if you want to go listen to that. It's a lot of fun. Longer than the film, but but if you want to keep up to date with all the upcoming film choices and that, you can follow us on Twitter at Hallmark of Great, all one word, or you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Hallmark of Greatness. Or if you can control mind spiders and want to recommend a film to us, you can email us at hallmarkgreatness@gmail.com.
Control Mind Spiders, is that not the new band from that bloke that was in Imagine Dragons?
Possibly, yeah. What a terrible name for a band.
What a terrible band.
Oh, fuck no, yes.
Yeah, I've got
agree with
a retort to
that.
Yeah, it's terrible, actually. Unfortunately, our guest cannot be with us today due to something coming up in at home. But this week's film, they wanted us to, and I think they've made an excuse to get out of it, knowing that this is a big old pile of Todd, is... 2006's The Covenant. Not to be confused with the Guy Ritchie film of the same name, which I got mildly excited about.
Starring Vinnie Jones as a vampire or a witch?
I think Vinnie Jones has a helicopter, possibly, in it. I don't know. It looks like it's some Desert Stormy sort of thing.
Here I'm whirling here.
I think they had to change it to Guy Ritchie's because they didn't want to get it mixed up with this because it's so famously shite.
Wow.
I mean, if it was Vinnie Jones as a vampire, which I kind of want to see, he's got a big Alan Partridge youth hostling with Chris Eubank vibes about that. But this is The Covenant or The Craft with boys and not as good.
Yeah, the Baft? I don't know. I'm really good at this thought.
What's the yeah. Anyway, but before we get into that, let us fire up the machine.
CGI smoke everywhere. That is the magnificent narrative machine of munificence. And it's run out of crisp and dry today, so we've had to secure other means to fund it, as you well know, which is why we're sponsored by Thick Old Crumpets. Have it your way.
Oh.
And it said, The Covenant, 2006. And of course it starts with Barbarella the is a rural maid. Every bit of this is champion, I'm telling you. Barbarella the is a rural maid who must battle a puppet in the arena of death, or else Jacob Rees-Mogg will lie down lavishly over a prize cake. As events ensue, Barbarella meets Jake Covenant, a watch collector who wears naught but a hat. A crisis ensues when a narwhal turns up all giddy and the unlikely duo start to bond despite a let me explain moment. Will they acquire the leisurely lifestyle of wealthy pensioners? Reply hazy, ask again.
Barbara the, no one who speaks German can be evil. He wears naught but a hat as well.
Doesn't even wear a watch. Doesn't even wear a watch.
Also, how was Jacob Rees-Mogg got into the machine? You know what he's like, yeah. But
yeah, what better a way to experience the leisurely lifestyle of wealthy pensioners than cramming your face full of thick old crumpets? Have it your way.
I got really into crumpets recently.
Yeah, do you know what I tend to do? I've got strange taste in big old crumpets, but I like to butter mine and then put it back under the grill for a moment or two.
Ooh.
Nine
So
on the
extra
toaster,
crispy.
9 on the toaster, down, and then Cathedral City mature spread.
There's got to be
Yeah.
some form of cheese involved as well.
Mhm, you see.
Absolutely. Bit of Henderson's on top. Now you're talking.
Oh,
I see we're actually advertising thick old crumpets now. They
Indeed,
sell
we are.
themselves, though, don't they?
I mean, if thick old crumpets, Gallery
away.
Maps never got in touch, did
Big
they?
thick old crumpets want to get in.
It's baked goods, isn't it? It's baked goods that sort of win on this. It's
Yeah,
not, this isn't an angle.
We are
It's
men
just-
we're men of a certain age, and we
We're
certain
doughy
desires.
yeah, in all senses. Yeah. The actual synopsis, getting away from the yeast, is 2006, The Covenant. 4 young men who belong to a New England supernatural legacy are forced to battle an elusive fifth power, except 2 of them don't do anything.
I don't even know, like, one of them. I've not got a clear idea of who he is.
Bunto.
Joey,
Hey!
Dee
Yeah, Clank. Yeah, I've literally,
Shemp.
yeah, Gummo, the last. Yeah, I mean, let's wire into this because, well, just to get it over with more than anything else. We open with text, as is always the way, and a voiceover of. I didn't write this down because I thought it's not going to be inconsequential. I'm assuming you did, James.
Was there a voiceover? I've missed this.
On my copy,
There was certainly just writing. I don't think I was really paying that much attention. I thought,
What was the
I'll write that
voiceover?
down
Was it
later on.
spooky book?
No, it was like a man, every family. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get that. It's very
Oh.
sort of like Buffy and to every generation sort of thing. The power, he goes on about the Book of the Damned, which I got very excited by. Those with the power fleeing England to an equally religious colony called Ipswich, which I've made
Out of a frying pan.
to Ipswich.
It was shitty a frying pan, question mark.
They have a covenant of silence, and then they pass down these powers through the generations. Each generation more degenerate than the last, as it turns out.
Well, yes. And the book closes, and it's the Book of Damnation, not the Book of Captain Sensible. Sorry. And it catches fire like around a circle around it. And I thought, oh, that's a bit Eurovision. That's a bit, yeah, that were good.
As it turns out, yeah.
And then we got
New
Rob
Metal.
Zombie. Well, it's Rob Zombie. It's Supercharger Heaven, but not the proper version, like a weird version of it.
And this is our first indication that it's 2006, of course, because it's fart rock. Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, I put down burping occult symbols everywhere. I mean, it's standard fare for us. There's a forest at night, occult symbols.
I said
cuts maybe to like a dictionary definition of witch or something.
A lot of woodcuts, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of woodcuts.
Like I said, now I've just realised it gave me big the Witches season of American Horror Story. The opening to that.
I got big Blair Witch 2, The Book of Shadows vibes from the opening of it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fast cuts, a lot of like spooky things and things like cameras moving. It's fine. I was like, all right, I know what I'm in for here. I like Buffy. You know what I mean?
And it gets even better when it opens out onto 4 lads kicking about a bit of scree.
Yeah,
absolutely they were.
Yes.
Oh man, where's the scree klaxon gone? We're introduced to our, I want to say, 4 protagonists of the film.
Right.
Caleb, Reed. I think Reed was the one who always wore the hat. The Pogues was there. And I think the last one's called Tyler.
Yeah, so not appearing in this film.
Yeah, I again, he doesn't even get billing with the rest of them on the thing. Yeah,
no, Caleb, I've got as sort of like a non-union Anthony Bourdain, Pogue, non-union Heath Ledger, and Reed. Because I didn't do Tyler because I don't know who he is. Reed is a non-union Joffrey from Game of Thrones.
Yes, yeah.
Especially
one of them caps. One of them caps that all the lads used to wear back in the day.
All of which of these have been centerfolds in Non-Threatening Boys magazine.
They really are. You can phone up the Caleb hotline and he'll tell you words that rhyme with Caleb.
What does rhyme with Caleb, Joe? I'm interested to know.
Salem.
No. Yeah.
Tony Shalhoub. That doesn't really work.
They're kicking this scree about and they're walking in backlit, so it looks quite good. And it's the literally the bit from the cover of the film. And they approach the end of a cliff. and you're like, oh, great, they're going to kill someone. This will be interesting, this. Evil warlocks doing evil warlock stuff. No, we just get a rip-off of that bit from Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
And
a
there's a
comparisons there.
superhero landing at one point. Yeah.
well, there's some kind of Nazi beach party going on.
Yeah, this was strange.
Apparently, they shot this out of season in Canada, and it was supposed to be like an end of summer party, but everyone was freezing. So I think that's why they've got big ass Burning Man style fires.
Yeah,
that's what that's all about. Got you. Yeah.
And apparently, this is what rich young kids do: is just start fires in wilderness. And I never understood how they got all that DJ gear there. Like,
well, that they don't use ? And there's this bit where they go, oh look, it's the Sons of Ipswich are here. Not a tractor in sight. Are you sure it's Ipswich?
Where they all jump off this thing and they're like, oh, can we not just walk down? And they're like, oh, come on, have a laugh. And they all jump off and I'm like, oh, great, they're all dead, sweet. Let's put something else on. I can put repeats, it's still a game on. No, you get the superhero landing. They form up into ranks again, walk over, and are introduced to, is it Kate and Sarah?
Yeah.
The two women in this
Julia
film.
Stiles.
Yes.
Checking out the lads. The lads are checking out them. They meet up and then start checking out each other some more. There's a lot of this, and I'm thinking, oh no, it's gone all Vampire Diaries.
It's one of these. Yeah.
But again, I liked it's the Sons of Ipswich. I was like, that's a terrible gang name. When you're a son of a way.
I can't imagine them coming out of a tube station with baseball bats to batter the Warriors. Can you?
Probably. I mean, there's some terrible gangs in the Warriors.
Somebody called Kira, who I don't remember seeing again, is mean to somebody else, which causes everyone's hormones to start a chain reaction.
Oh, yeah, because Sarah has come from a public school who's been transferred to this very exclusive private school, and she just basically calls her a povo, doesn't she?
Common oik. Yeah, that's it, yeah. Maybe that's how Rees-Mogg got in, because he got in through this film.
He's like,
it's very Rees-Moggy, this, isn't it? Yeah.
He's like that girl from The Ring, like, but...
In 7 days, you'll sweep my chimney.
Just this big, long, gangly fucking arm coming.
Trust Rees-Mogg to be rocking a VHS rather than anything else. Anyway,
never play a wire.
One of them. Oh God!
Never play a wax cylinder near him. Yeah.
I think one of the kids, I think it's Reed, causes another kid to throw up rather than a fight start, which is a great use of his power.
Someone, I think Caleb and this other lad square up over this girl calling the other girl something, and to break it up, Reed flashes his eyes gold, and Lad does this big sick on him, and I'm like, that's a good skill. Like,
underused in this film, actually.
I'd be making people chuck up constant, just for the laugh. Like,
but the whole point is, it shouldn't be. Anyways, we shouldn't be doing stuff like that.
I don't. Right. Well.
I assume there's levels of things you can.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
There's a massive subtext in this. Somebody's done like queer theory analysis of this.
Oh, I can imagine why. I mean, that's why Faye suggested it, because it's very homoerotic.
Oh, absolutely. And the only thing really that keeps it in any way interesting. Apparently, the cops have seen the vomit from several miles away and have started going to arrest everyone at the party.
The DJ announces that one of their lookouts, who's not allowed to come to the party, but can wait in a Bill Oddie style hide to try and
they run from the cops because the cops are coming. But what's the charge? Enjoying a succulent get-together on the beach? I don't understand what they're doing wrong.
I think underage drinking.
Enjoying a succulent get-together on the beach is definitely going into the random plot generator.
I hope it is.
I would assume underage drinking and carrying on because we're in...
Oh, yeah, they're all under 21, aren't they? Yeah.
It's,
well, they're supposed to be. They're not actually. But
no, anyhow. It's, I'm assuming it's supposed to be in Massachusetts-y sort of area as well, which I'm assuming is still fairly sort of puritanical in its approach to things, question mark.
The Bee Gees sing about, I know that much.
Yeah, but all the lights went out, and then someone does a sick on you. That's the first he cut out. That was Robin's verse. Yeah. So they all scatter, right? In random directions as well. I thought it was near a beach as well.
Yeah, so did I. Some of them scatter into the sea.
I was like, well, Aquaman, get on the jet ski.
Well, again, this is another thing. Because of the time of year that they filmed this, the location they had for the beach was flooded, which I think is just what happens when the tide comes in.
That's right, yeah.
But anyway, they couldn't use that location, so they had to use the local sand mine Question mark.
What, the quarry?
so-
is it?
What the fuck's sandmine? Is that
Is that where
the
the film
beach is
two-
running out quickly down the sand mine?
But they've got to get permission from the House of Tradies before they do. What?
You got to phone up checkertradies.com.
I never thought
That's
we'd
it.
spend
It
this
ain't
long
getting
on
no
this
better
season.
than that. Pack it in, lads. We're done.
Good night.
Yeah, so they all run off, but then they all get into cars which are
To the
parked
woods.
in the forest nearby. Which why not just park them up, keep the headlights on? You can see what you're doing then.
So have they jumped back up this cliff?
I don't know.
Because I assumed they got out of the car in the woods on the cliff. Have they?
Had a
have they
kickabout
gone-
of some scree.
It's a good
No,
point.
'cause
Yeah, they parked in the forest, then ran up a cliff, and then jumped down. It's an entrance.
Yeah, I guess.
But
so.
you can't use your powers in front of people. If someone had seen
they
four
fuck
lads
about
jumping
with
off.
that constantly.
Oh, I
though,
know.
don't
Yeah,
they?
well, it varies from person to person.
Yeah.
But yeah, they
So
get.
the rest of the lads go into they've got like a big fuck off Land Rover or something. And,
Yeah, you got it.
that they get into, and Caleb gets into the other one with the two girls that they
Girls.
just met.
Sarah's
And
little.
I have to say this very hesitantly because everyone looks exactly alike.
and they
apart from
should have worn
Pogue
badges.
Has long hair.
No, is that Pogue?
I think so. There's
Oh,
also
I
another
don't
guy
know.
later who has long hair, so they double everyone up, and it's
Yeah.
just fucking annoying.
There's only two
Anyway.
acceptable hairstyles here.
We get a chase scene at this point. That
They're
was
in the
good.
woods and
Sarah's car won't start because they're all. Some of them are in that car.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
does a bit of
And
magic.
Reed
to
gets
make
out
the
and
cars.
uses his powers to make the car start, but then gets
He doesn't
into
even
the other.
pretend to do anything.
No, he just lifts the hood up and goes "Wah," with his eyes,
Yeah.
and then it works.
And he goes,
But then
punch it.
he's not the Fonz, but then he gets into their car and not that one.
Yeah.
Because all
Yeah.
four of them are then twatting about in that
Because he
big
doesn't,
Jeep.
he doesn't want them doing any bird. So the key is get them out of there, and then they'll take the heat.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know why I'm talking like a 50s London
I was
gangster
gonna
all of a
say,
sudden.
You don't want a beak coming down on you for swiping wipes.
the long
I think that's
arm
the
with
Guy
knob.
Ritchie covenant you're doing.
I think
there.
Max-
It's-
Max slowly turning into Fagin from Oliver.
Oh, you've got to pick a pocket or two, boys.
Yeah. So they drive away. The police give chase.
Oh man, this chase through the woods, the cartoon woods, was only missing one thing for me. Oh, the new Oldsmobiles are in early this year.
Yes. Do you have a Miss Piggy? Yeah. It's not the worst chase we've ever seen. That'll be the Fish 2020, the year held hostage by coronavirus religious film, which had the slowest motion chase that they'd sped up to make it seem more
Oh,
exciting.
epically.
Yeah. But this, they drive about for a bit and then they decide to drive off the edge of a cliff and
Yes.
use all of their powers, black eye powers now, not just glinty eyes. Their eyes go fully black to make the car fly. And we get the great line.
Harry Potter could kiss my ass.
Yeah, boy.
Now, it's 2006, right? It has been 15 years, just a mere 15 years since Thelma and Louise, right? Why is there not a Thelma and Louise gag here?
Because it's for kids.
Yeah, but they're aware. They've watched that episode of The Simpsons.
No, it's Harry Potter's where it's at, mate. This is the American puritanical right are very accurate on this because it goes from Dungeons and Dragons to Harry Potter to the Covenant to child sacrifice. That is the progression.
I know I kind of wanted to sacrifice some children after watching this.
The children that are in this, well,
I
And the
wish I was
cops
watching
fall
a
for it.
child sacrifice instead of this.
they
Son
fly
of a
off.
bitch, they've flown away.
Yeah.
They think that they plummeted to the
They fly
desk,
away, but then they land behind them.
Yeah. So
They've done a loop to loop.
Yeah, they fly
Yes.
off this. They fly
Do
off
a
this,
barrel roll.
Very good. They fly off this rock face, and the cops just about slam on the anchors to stop in time.
Yeah.
And it's like they're gone. They're absolutely gone. But I swear they went over the edge. And you're right. And then all of a sudden they land behind them. But the way that this Land Rover, and I know it's a 4x4, lands behind this cop car, then fucking at least one of the axles is fucked from
Yeah.
that kind of drop. You
Yeah,
know,
but
you can't fall off a curb without fucking an axle these days.
There again, as we find out later on, magic can also be used for mechanical use, as we've
For
already
exchange
discovered.
of goods
Actually,
and services.
yeah, because
90% of this is all mechanical.
yeah,
like,
they could just get a
retrieval
quick
of it.
fit and be like, Yeah, and then they it was a good bit as well when they did the 180 turn and they overturn it and the car nearly flipped. That was
Yes.
good.
Well, there was I don't know if it flipped, but there was a car crash in this.
Nobody died, did they?
and-
Because I feel bad now.
No, it took out a camera or something. But then they didn't use it, in a better film like Fatal Deviation would just absolutely use that.
It needs it needs some guy with a flamethrower guitar on the front of a truck for me doing fart rock.
Yeah.
But I was also like, is this beach on a cliff? Like, is it just nested cliffs all the way down? So confusing.
Cliffs all the way down. Yeah.
Yeah. But Caleb survives somehow with Sarah and Kate. They go back to their dorm, which is also an abandoned hospital, apparently.
Yeah.
There's nobody else living there.
It looked like like an abandoned mental asylum. Like, because that dorm room had no privacy. It had windows looking into it.
Yeah.
Which, that's not what you want, is it? I know it's two young ladies living there, so I'd be... No, that's disgusting.
It's what all them lads want, but yeah.
But,
and she said, it's infested with spiders or something. And he's like, don't worry about that. Crushes a spider under his foot.
Yeah, that's not very Jane, is it? And he's like, hit me up tomorrow. We'll go to the mall. Go to the malt shop. I don't fucking know what was going on. I'm in room 26, somewhere, wherever, she says. They go in. And then they're like, ooh, all like, I didn't understand a word of what they would say. But I know they both get undressed for unnecessary reasons.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, so I was thinking this is aimed at lads, but no. It's equal opportunity people in underwear in this film. The lads go back to their gated community as well. I was like, fuck is this? Pogue's got his yellow Ducati 749, as it turns out, which he razzes about somewhere. It's like,
the only bit of colour in this film is this yellow fucking thing.
It makes, in the first episode of Twilight, the first film of that look like...
Look like fucking Gone with the Wind, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which this predates by 2 years, because I thought it feels very Twilight to me.
Yeah,
it does.
Just really washed out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I assume it's like that up there, is it? Martha's Vineyard and all that. Isn't it always like
No, Martha's Vineyard. Is it not? No, because isn't Twilight in the Pacific Northwest? You're right, I'm asking the wrong group.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's in.
I've heard mono-rants.
Yeah.
I know all about it.
Rachel has just finished rewatching all of them while I've been playing PlayStation, so I've kind of kept my eye in them. They're atrocious. And yes, absolutely, we've all listened to Mono and Kieran.
Yeah, so I just hear Mono suffer more than anything.
It's all we could want in life.
Yeah.
It's just him going, I know it's not aimed at me, but...
But yeah, he leaves on his bike because he doesn't go to that school, or he lives at home, or doesn't live in the dorms. Does he? I don't know who anyone is.
Can you help me out on this one? Is he the spoilers the baddie?
No.
No.
He's
the one. Yes, he's Danvers. Is he Danvers? Caleb Danvers?
No.
He's the one
Caleb is the brooding one.
Caleb's the main one.
Pogue's
the one with the bike.
Yeah.
Reed's the one with the hat. And Tyler is there also. No, it's Chase. Chase is the baddie. They meet Chase at the
Chase
party.
is the actual baddie. But
Chase gets in the car that's another car that's going to escape as well. And that leads to something further on down the line. If they all had proper names instead of like adjectives. But yeah.
Listen, what you're missing here on the video is Joe, like Charlie in with his big string thing and all his information up on the board.
Pepe de Silva.
Yeah, that's exactly what Joe's doing right now.
Right, so
Caleb is the brooding one, though. He goes back home to his mum at this point.
Evelyn Danvers is the only name I've written down, and I've no idea why.
Finds a neck in scotch next to an open fire and thinks that she's the problem. Like, I'll be there joining her.
Yeah, she's got a fag on the go. She's got a big glass of scotch, big roaring fire. I'm like,
got a big stuffed leopard as well.
Nice. You can stroke that. You can look at it. You know, day's your own, isn't it?
She's living the dream.
Yeah,
and this is where we get plot dump.
Oh, this is show don't tell, please, Evelyn Danvers.
No, the only reason Evelyn Danvers is there is to go, oh, you can't use your powers because I know you're close to Ascension Sunday, which happens when you're 18 and the power can be corrupted. Look what it did to your father. He's dead now because you're a magic user. The sun, all this shit.
Yeah, loads of shit.
Oh, Christ. He could have just put a big, oh no, card up, like in a black and white film, with all this on, and it would have made...
I would have liked scene missing.
Yeah. Lots of scenes, all of them. Yeah, she says that the powers that you use age you, they're addictive, all this jazz. Nobody else takes any notice of this. It never has any effect on anyone whatsoever.
I have a theory. I think the powers only age you once you've ascended. I'm going to say that, because otherwise none of this makes any fucking sense.
Okay. I mean,
because when they jump off the cliff, he's like, it's not going to kill us yet.
Oh, it does, yeah.
I thought you meant the fall's not going to kill it. I know.
Yeah, I always assumed it was that as well, but yeah.
He's dead, so he can't kill you now.
Who cares?
Never mind.
Sarah and Kate, they change into their negligees to talk about the Sons of Ipswich. They're all descendants of ancient families. The fifth family were killed off during the Salem witch trials. And there's a lot of stuff online about how Ipswich is nowhere near Salem. Not that one, but the other one in America. And they're 30 minutes drive between. But I know they could have been under the same witchfinder jurisdiction, so we'll allow it.
Well, maybe they were in Salem, and then after the fifth one got killed, they decided to move to Ipswich to get out of
maybe
lay the heat off.
It's lovely. It's lovely there. Couldn't recommend it highly enough. It's got that murder barn in it.
Yeah,
nightmare barn. And think, I've been there. Kate's also reading the book Finland in the New Europe by Max Jacobson, which is a nice detail.
Okay.
It discusses Finland's burgeoning position in the world.
Lovely.
Via its new relationship with Russia. Anyway, New York cops discuss the car that vanished, and they find
a ghost car. It's a ghost car.
I swear, Chief, it just drove off the end of the cliff.
And he's like, maybe you confused it with the lights on the lighthouse or something. I was like, all right, Portland Bill.
I was like, is that a reference to like the UFO in UFO famous UFO landing in Britain where they said it was the lighthouse? It isn't. But it just made me thought of that because again. Typical police can't be asked doing any legwork. We're a lighthouse. Don't bother looking down the bottom of that cliff if there's a burnt out, exploded car and lighthouse. Off we go.
As we discover, the chief is not for turning, is he at all?
No. But as they get is this when they get a call? We found something.
Yes.
And
there's a car in the forest.
I thought this was Sarah's car.
I thought it was one of these lads.
Again,
I thought it was the one with the hat. You know, the one with the hat.
I thought it'd be somebody that we'd invested at least some attention into.
Nope, it's random Jimmy. The police come around, knock on the window. Come on, son, open up. Right, that's not worked. We literally gave him a second to open up. Smash the back window in, Ken.
And then open the door, and he crumples to the floor.
And he's got cloudy eyes.
Yeah, he's dead of pale contact lenses. But anyway,
glaucoma, and he couldn't see where he was driving.
If anyone's attention had been slipping, Sarah gets nude at this point, goes for a shower, finds a nice frosted glass.
They've got bathrooms, but they're not decided to put a shower in these rooms. That worried me.
No, she's got to do a long walk down a very cold-looking corridor to get there.
With spiders everywhere, with just a towel on. I'd have got changed in that room, to be honest, but that's just me.
I mean, she was walking over, like, really polished marble floors. Yeah. I was thinking, that's a nightmare.
That's got broken neck written all over.
At least put some Crocs on or something, yeah. But anyway, this is just, again, old men complaining about if I fell over, my hip would be gone, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, she goes ahead and we get nude. Well, we don't get full nudity, but we get a lot of lingering shots of her back, which I guess is as close as we're going to get.
They added CGI steam.
Oh,
yeah, it was very much like Hollow Man at this point.
Yeah. And then a light bulb explodes and she goes, is anyone there? Never say, is anyone there? They're not going to answer, are they? If they're coming to murder, they're not going to go, yes, I'm a murderer.
Somebody there knocking out lights, like a bulb's gone. You know, it's a bit of a leap.
Only one bulb, right? But when she goes to look, she goes to find it, she puts a towel on and comes out. There's still 3 other bulbs in there. I know that's a dangerous thing as well. There's 3 other light bulbs in that light. That light. Only one of them's broke. Unless this school is very, very poor and there's only one light bulb in each light, which you shouldn't do anyway because it messes with the voltage or whatever. I don't know. Right. So you should always have a light bulb in. Yeah, that explodes.
You learned one thing from this.
Well, my brother told me that. She picks up a piece of the glass as well. I thought she was going to defend herself with it. No, she just drops it on the floor and then
doesn't pick it up. No, sweeping it away.
One of the cleaners will do that. All right.
Yeah.
And then a spooky a spooky steam man appears behind her and just gives her a quick jab in the body.
Spooky steam man. That's going in there as well. Yeah, translucent haze.
Yeah.
Just taps her on the shoulder, doesn't do anything else.
Yeah, but you sort of see a face form in it, and then instead of going, "Whoa," feeling her up or out, just gives her a tap and then disappears. Lowest energy prank ever.
Yeah. Caleb, meanwhile, wakes up startled in his sleep. Ugh.
Yep.
He's
You left
got
the gas
intuition about these things. Yeah. She bumps into Reed out in the corridor, which is a bit suspicious. What's he
Yeah.
doing here? Reed offers to look round the shower and barely glances around before going, don't see anyone.
That mate, right?
Use your fucking legs.
Yeah, I was like, all right, it's clearly him then because he's got a hat on, not trustworthy. But also the fact that like he doesn't go, well, you go in and get changed and get dressed instead of walking around with just a towel on because you'll catch you dead. Come down here with me. And I was like, I'm not going to go into a room in the nude with a young man. No. But yeah, he just opens the door and goes, no one in there. I'm like, well, do you work for the police with this level of... yeah, they go back and he's like, yeah, get in your room. I'm going to go off to try other hats on now.
He's the kind of lad he's out there doing Borat impressions night and day.
Jesus.
We get a newspaper flip. It doesn't actually flip into the scene, but it should have done the swizzle. It announces boy died of overdose. Also, that the mayor has vowed to upgrade the county, which won't get equal coverage in this film.
Oh man, I want to know.
Really should.
Also, something about West Nile virus, which was an actual problem at the time.
Oh, right.
So
do you reckon they've just cut that bit out and stuck it over an actual newspaper?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
every
I see.
opportunity, yeah.
I want to know more what they were upgrading it to. 4G?
A transformer. Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, more on that, yeah.
Optimus Ipswich. Caleb calls Pogue saying that Reed is probably a sex offender or something. Caleb, he's ascending soon, and Pogue says Reed's jealous of you ascending. That's why he's fucking about with your missus, even though she's not his missus. And then Caleb, driving along, hallucinates a darkling or a dead kid.
This happens, and it's never explained what a darkling is. I thought he said darkwing at first.
Darkling duck, I've written. Yeah.
I thought
it's just some sort of witch lore or something. It's not
he said someone sent me a darkwing last night, and I thought it was like them letters from Harry Potter that yell at you.
Yeah, where you get shouted down. Yeah.
No, darkwing, and it's one of them butterflies in Skyrim. All of it comes back to Skyrim.
No, it's a darkling.
This causes him to like suddenly crash, doesn't it, into a lorry? So that was pretty good.
Again, this is stolen from Final Destination 2.
Absolutely.
He flies at the back of the Final Destination truck, but luckily for him, his car is an Autobot.
Yeah.
Optimus Ipswich.
Yes.
I want to stay with the witch boy. Yeah. And the driver goes,
Yeah.
And some of the logs fall off, and you've not actually hit anything though, so that's not very well secured. So that's a health and safety violation as well. And then the car reforms, and he goes, "Phew!" I was like, "What? What is happening?"
Yeah. But what did happen? Did he use his powers, or is his car magic? Right. Okay. I thought it was like the Harry Potter magic car again. Really
Harry Potter can kiss his ass. He's already said.
Apparently so.
You are right, though, Mark. In that all of the way that magic has been used so far is vehicular related, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could be forgiven. Down at the Doc's pharmacy, Caleb is ordering paracetamol loose. I didn't realise you could buy them like that, but apparently
that's how. That's how pharmacists measure up stuff. Right.
I'm sure they do, but they don't do that in front of you. Do you want 100 grams of this? Then
old man. What's his name in the beginning of It's a Wonderful Life? He's putting poison in the capsules.
Yeah.
But
hope it's not poison. Could be.
Could be.
For old man time over there.
Kate's in there just buying supplies for their room in a chemist's.
Yeah.
I was just assuming she was buying a load of whistle pops because that's all I can.
That's all you smell again from the chemist. Yeah. Certainly when you were a kid.
Back then, yeah.
In the glass with the wrapping.
Yeah. Old men remember things corners back.
Yeah, so the pharmacy is the place to be because Sarah then bumps into them.
Yeah, they're all just hanging out in boots.
Someone else is there, possibly Taylor, ? And then they want to go and watch the new Brad Pitt film.
Yeah, in 2006 that would have been.
Babel.
Troy? Oh.
Babel. It was the only
great.
the only of his films that came out in 2006. Now I can't imagine this bunch of vapid pricks looking forward to Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu's psychological tale of language. Can you, listeners?
It's unlikely.
You're going to use their magic to understand it. But
Well, I wish
Alejandro
I'd had some
watching
fucking magic to understand it. That's
Caleb is, it's like 3D, isn't it? You've got to have the magic to understand this stuff. Caleb says, "Oh no, I've got a
Errands to run for my mum."
big list of errands, which involves going to this one house with some paracetamol, which is a good way of getting out of it." And Sarah's like, "Oh, I'll help you."
I've
with
already
that
seen it.
paracetamol.
And Caleb goes, "Oh, do you like doing chores?" And I'm like, "That's a weird."
No.
Yeah,
No one does.
Is he trying to get her to do the chores for him?
I mean,
Maybe he's eyeing her up for marriage material because you know what these rich ones are like.
yeah, but she's a povo, isn't it?
Oh, so he just wants her as a char lady.
She's still middle class as fuck, isn't she? Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I believe that, like, I think it's Pogue, because I think Kate and Pogue are an item,
Oh yeah.
because that comes in later.
Sorry, I
on
forgot
a bit.
about that romantic politics of the film.
If
Right.
you like a girl, be sick on her. That's all I've learned from this film so far.
Claim
Or
her,
a boy.
That's it.
That's you mark him like a cat.
Yeah. Anyway, they go for a nice ride out in the countryside, past the Nightmare Barn.
Yeah.
Site of the original Ipswich. Not quite. It's very, very rural.
Fucking Tony Robinson over here.
And they stop at the house from American Gothic, I've put. It's sort of similar. But it is inhabited by Gorman Tubery, who does look like the lad from American Gothic, with the pitchfork and everything.
Yeah, he does.
Anyway, he's like, stay away from my land, sort of thing. And
No, he gets
shoots
out
at
of the
them.
car and he immediately shoots at him. And I'd be like,
Yeah.
is this a weak? Because the odds are he's going to hit you at some point.
Because he doesn't like the look of the woman that he's brought up to the house.
Yeah, how dare he?
She's poor. He can smell it. They can, rich people.
No, they can. Yeah.
Like sharks with blood. Yeah. He goes, just wait in the car while I go into this spooky old building. All right. I'm not leaving the radio on or out either.
This must get like smoke, like haze from the doorway as well. It's like, what the fuck has he just fired at them? A blunderbuss. Anyway, his house is very tastefully decorated in animal skulls.
Yeah.
There's lots of like stuffed animals and stuff.
It's got big what we do in the shadows energy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
God, I wish I was watching that instead.
Oh,
They're all like, nah, not much dialogue there. And then after a busy morning of one errand, he takes her to Nicky's, the local rock bar and nautical themed cafe.
Right. Why do all of these cool young children, young adult places have like essentially a dive bar to go to? Because in Buffy they had the bronze, right? But the guy running it can't be making money because all he sells is, I think, for a burger and a Coke, it costs $3. Like,
yeah, that was part of it.
I think Mayor Rudy was sweeping up as well. Like,
there's a line from one of the characters. Do you want something to eat? And the girl says, "Yeah, I'll pick up whatever you're having." That's the fucking wrong answer. First of all,
you're getting out then.
That's not. Yeah, do you want something to eat? Yeah, I'll eat what you're eating.
No, I'm eating
that's
that.
not how it works. Yeah, exactly.
Some lads are playing pool. There's people dancing. It looks like a right laugh, right? But what's he called? Well, big guy behind the bar.
I can't remember what his name was. Nicky, is that Nicky runs the place?
Nicky's Bar, it's called. Nicky's Bar and Grill. Yeah. Right, and then is it Reed, Pogue, and Tyler have a bet on what pants the barmaid's wearing?
Oh, is it the barmaid? I thought it was just a lass at the bar. Oh, this is pretty grim.
This was a bit I was like, oh, really? Because I thought at this point, right, this clearly isn't for me. This is for teenage girls. Like, young lads strapping about, probably take the tops off in a bit, have a fight in the rain, that kind of stuff. But no.
Which they do.
They do, but then this is in there, which makes me think, they bet $1 each, it looks like, which he then uses to pay for his food. And he uses his magic to
part a gust of window.
Lift a skirt.
Half a skirt up, and she's got no pants on.
And he wins and says, see, this girl hasn't worn pants since she was 12 years old. And I'm kind of like, that's not using your powers for good.
No.
And thinking about 12-year-olds with no pants on, get in the word, nonce.
Yes. But he uses that to go and pay for his food. He sits down. I think Kate's there as well, and Sarah. the lads go off to do lad stuff, probably like have a pissing contest or so you can get it highest up the wall in the
They're playing
toilets.
foosball, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. And
grandstanding.
Sarah decides to show her love for Caleb by putting on I Love Rock and Roll and dancing seductively like a greasy Coyote Ugly.
Is this a cover of that I Love Sausage Roll song?
I was waiting for that.
Oh, don't make me think of that, please.
No. Yeah, so code
I will do a
G4 in the
sick on you.
jukebox not only plays that song, but plays it 10 decibels louder than any other song on that roster.
And everyone
because it's an advert. You know, adverts are always louder, aren't they?
And everyone fucking loves it. Everyone's going mental. There's a song from 1974. Like, it's, yeah.
She grabs Caleb anyway. She's like, stop fucking about with them. Dance with me. And they do a little jig. And Pogue and or Taylor and Reed start shoving nearby. They're like, fuck this. They all get kicked out by Nikki. Best decision he ever made.
They were doing trick shots on the pool table. And that net is, I think, from Landshark. I think it's a tribute to Landshark. No, they had a bet with 3 other lads over pool, and they didn't pay up. And Nikki chases him out with a bat, which I thought was good because every good
Nikki.
Teenage dive bar / malt shop should have a burly The 3 lads go back in, which is not how barring works, but whatever. And then Caleb comes out and he goes, Reed, you're a fanny. Stop using your powers. I know it was you. I had a vision last night. And someone was using someone was using, they keep calling it as well, which made me think of train spotting loads as well. And he goes, no, it wasn't me. He tries to fight him. He pushes him into a load of kegs, which I was like, Nicky's stacked all them up. Dre's coming tomorrow. Like,
this isn't an intergalactic kegger.
Yeah, he's going to be furious.
Well, all the background paraphernalia is from like the 20s or something.
Yeah, I was expecting Elliot Ness to come in and just start smashing up shit. Like.
And then he gets yeeted into, I think it's some crates full of like old wine bottles. It's bags
but stacked up to like bullet level car chase height. Like. He tries to throw a keg at him with his mind powers, but Caleb is, because he's the eldest, his powers are best.
Yeah, there is a line about that.
I'm older than you, and therefore I'm strongest, or I'm from the best family. It's all very, But a good way to treat your mates is just chucking them into shit all the time as well.
And this is another instance of them using their powers for fucking stupid, mundane stupidity. How have they not been found out in front of people as well?
Yeah, everyone is going, no, stop it now. This is stupid, sort of thing.
No,
which
but
is fine, but
because Caleb admonishes him for using them in public the night previous as well.
Yeah,
and yet he's yeeting him round all over the place.
Yeah.
Do as I say, Caleb. Yeah, not as I do.
Well, he's had enough at this point. He is a prick. They're all pricks.
He should have parked his hat off.
A prick, I guess.
I'll turn his hat into an anvil. That'd have been fun.
So power isn't going to be stronger until Ascension Day, so they're all essentially the same level of power or whatever. And Caleb's like, "Oh, Sarah, let's get home." Second date style. They go back and kiss or something.
No.
Meanwhile, there's a storm because this town is twinned with the one from Ghost Phone, where there were just storms constantly,
randomly coming in.
There's some really good cartoon lightning here, though. So at least some artist got paid.
Mr. Film.
Yes.
Okay. We've got to have that as a jingle.
All right, I'll work on it.
And at night, Sarah's in bed, writhing around as they want to do, and there's a CGI pervy spider that comes along.
I like this bit. Because I thought it was pretty good, to be honest. Well, it reminded me of the Stampede of Wildebeests in Lion King.
This is billed as a horror film, and I was at no point horrified by it.
I mean, I was certainly horrified by it, but not for being scared.
Is that horror? I thought it was like a teen werewolfy sort of, you know what I mean? Like a Twilight-y.
I still don't know what they are. I think they're vampires. I don't know. Not sure.
But this CGI spider crawls up onto her face, and she's like, and then lifts her sheet up to show her nude legs as well. And the bed's full of spiders.
But it does a creepy. It's obviously another cartoon one. It does a creepy walk, but the creepy walk actually ends with it making scurrying noise. And spiders don't make a scurry. Like there's no
Big
and
fuckers do.
spiders.
Like big
Yeah,
ones.
but this
do.
isn't a big one. It's
No,
just
these are little
one.
house
It doesn't
spiders.
even look that threatening to me.
I know,
No.
one on
different people have got different things about spiders, but it doesn't
One-
look like a scary spider.
One
It
on
looks
its
like
own's
something
fine,
that's
but if your bed was full of them, you'd shit your cakes.
Oh yeah, that
No.
bit's fine. But it
Yeah.
crawling along was not inherently scary.
Then she
But
gets
yeah,
up, and the floor's full of them as well, and there's a load on the ceiling, and she looks
and
across
Kate's full of her face is full
And
of
it
the
makes,
sort of thing.
yeah.
One goes up her nose, which I thought was pretty gross, to be fair.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
fair,
that.
that's
And then it
And
like,
Caleb
goes
again.
out of her head as
Yeah.
well.
Caleb gets a phone call from Pogue who's like, I felt it too now. And so they're cottoning on to
So I did.
Warlock.
Their
Warlock
Warlock
nonsense.
walkie-talkies are working. Warlock talkies.
What? Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So they're going, it must be Reed since you yeeted him into Elliot Ness's antique bottle collection.
But get some rest now because tomorrow there's an autumn montage at school.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
They're all invited. And they go to attend a lecture on American contemporary fiction. And
We're going to be
featuring-
learning about Cormac McCarthy. I wish I'd
Yeah.
fucking learned. I wish we'd read Cormac McCarthy's The Road at school. That's one of my favourite cheery books. That.
Thoreau, and not as scary, I would have thought, and Stephen King. So
Yeah.
there's three very disparate writers. And there's a fourth one, but I didn't get one.
But also, they're in their lecture hall is like some dystopian, like Hall of Justice nightmare. Like
it does look like somewhere they've just come out of 12 Monkeys.
Yeah, it looks like that's not. It looked really. I know it's supposed to be posh and that, but it felt like you were going to be judged.
Is it the future?
For crimes of stealing a loaf of bread? And they've all.
I hope this is what the Guy Ritchie Covenant is like.
But why, my lord? But I was like, okay, this was going to be. I thought this was going to like lead into something. Like the books that they were talking, the authors were going to talk about were like, no.
Oh well, Reed says that the Dreamcatcher's shit. Which is supposed to be ironic. I have seen the Dreamcatcher, but it's been a while ago. But apparently
it's a similar thing.
Similar
premise.
Yeah, the joke is, he says it was the shit.
Yeah.
Does he?
And the joke is that the aliens are called shit weasels because you shit them out. That's got to be the joke.
I think Dreamcat is 4 lads who have magic powers in it as well.
Yeah, but in the film, which I assume is also in the book, I've not read it, but in the film, one of them, the English guy, the ginger guy from Billions, shits himself to death, and that's the alien comes out of his bum.
I did not remember
and they call them shit weasels, and Marky Mark's older brother's mentally handicapped.
So that's that in a nutshell. If you don't want to watch that,
I wouldn't bother.
No.
Again, I think I was weekend one in the cinema for that.
When was that written? Was that like cocaine fueled? Because it sounds very, very.
Absolutely. And absolute garbage. You're better off watching the Thinner.
Oh, Thinner's good though.
Yeah, Thinner's.
But yeah.
Anyway, the dean's. No, it's not the dean. It's the provost.
Provost Higgins. The provost, of course, is a posh the dean.
Because he goes after the lesson, Provost Higgins wants to speak to you, and I'm like, what? I've got to go with some sort of gulag. What's going on?
Trusty old provost.
We're going to roll him up in a carpet and throw him off a bridge.
It's one of the units in the Cones of Dunshire, isn't it? The provost.
Well, Provost, here's your new hip.
And there's our weekly Cones of Dunshire reference.
Yes.
So the provost is all about. He says something like to Caleb,
"No,
keep the new." Is it not?
Oh no, yeah. He says Chase is new here. This is the bit. Sorry,
yes.
We see the provost again in a bit, don't we? Sorry, I got confused. Yeah, Chase is new here. He seems to get on with you. Like, take him under your wing if you can. And because Caleb's like, yeah, all right.
That's what I was going to do anyway.
Yeah, right. He seems all right.
Anyway, thanks for disrupting my education.
Now back to the Hall of Justice with you.
Then we get Sarah bored in the library, and she opens up a book, Chronicles in Paganism.
Yeah.
Title. That's nothing to do with any of the writers that has just been mentioned to it.
Nope.
But it is about Caleb's family history.
Yep.
Which is a little bit much for the second day of having known someone, but okay.
Do you not do
and
that?
she sees a picture of the spider in it.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, so witchcraft is it?
Oh, it could have just been a dream. Right.
And then we get the scene that was put in for the teenage girls.
Oh, the swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's fair,
because it was either going to be swimming or lacrosse, isn't it? Because that's like the two posh boy sports, isn't it? Water polo.
What is lacrosse?
I
I
think it's
still
a
don't
cross
think-
between rugby and like hockey.
And you've got like a little net on the end of your stick, and you welly it.
But you could just run with it in the net. So yeah, I don't
Right.
know. I've never understood it.
It's what the really terrible actor in American Pie played before he
Yes.
decided to sing "How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You."
Yeah. Invented by the Native Americans, though. That's my one fact about that.
Oh,
yeah.
that's good.
Yeah. I bet they played it properly without padding and shit. But yeah, they have this swimming gala, jamboree.
Contemporary
training.
American swim class. That's what I've got it down as.
Okay, fair enough. Tethered swimming.
And they keep going on about Reed. How could you rat them into the provost? And he's like, I didn't do anything. And then there's a locker scene that's got some good dialogue in it.
Wait, is this not where Chase, like, we get Chase using his powers? His eyes were black, he says, doesn't he? And they're all stood over him
Is
in
that
that
this
weird.
bit?
Yes.
Is it this bit? I don't know. I think it was.
I mean, he certainly says it.
But yeah, the lock. What was it? I think he calls someone the F word, doesn't he? And then he's like,
I think somebody called Aaron, and I was like, who's Aaron? I still don't really know. But
I think he's the lad that got sick on him. I think he's supposed to be like the comedy foil for them.
Oh, right, okay. Chase says something like, what's that between your legs? It looks like a penis, only smaller, which I thought, that's nice.
That's good,
That's
yeah.
nice. Like that. And then they have a bit of a fight, and Chase comes out on top of something.
Yeah, he
like,
decks him.
He's one to
Yeah.
watch.
I think also someone flicks one with a towel as well and goes, call me master or something at some point. Because,
That's what these private schools are like, isn't it?
Yeah,
Always doing that.
They're all putting big crumpets in each other's bottoms.
Yeah. We get another fucking storm after this.
God, must be a
Pogue
nightmare.
warns Kate about Chase, and Caleb comes back from being with Sarah, and they've gone out to dinner or something. There's no scene about that.
No.
And they're going to go to the dance. There's always like a dance coming up. I think it might be the dramatic one at the end.
He invites her to Fall Fest, which sounds like a Marky Smith all day at Rochdale Town Hall.
Yeah. It's just various lineups of the Fall playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, wow, I'm such a special girl that I've only been here 3 days. And the number one cool guy in this case. Yeah. Yeah. I honestly don't know what happens at this point now. I forgot.
It gets a little bit muddy. Caleb also sees a zombie, another Darkling. So that's going on as well. And then the next day, this is where we get advanced contemporary American swim class. Where Chase uses his power.
Yeah.
We get a dramatic swim off scene as well, where everything's slowed
which
down.
is not in enough films, I think.
No,
there's not enough films about, apart from Mark Spitz. Wait, was he a swimmer?
He was.
Oh.
That causes Caleb to hit his head somehow because he's knocked back by the power or something. And then we get political history class. A lot of classes all at once.
Yep.
Where they're talking about the Bill of Rights. Chase is now pulled in to see the provost because he's doing one-on-ones with everyone this year.
Yeah. Well, it's not. It's because lazy sheriff has found his student ID in the back of the dead boy's car.
That's right. Yeah. And he says, oh, did you ever see him? He was like, no, I didn't see him that day. And he's like, well, what about this ID? And he went, well, I certainly lost it. And he must have picked it up. And he goes, okay, that's good enough for me, rich boy.
Yeah, that's
have this
enough
like, is that not evidence? Can you do that?
They can do what they want. They're rich white
They've
men.
obviously closed all lines of inquiry, haven't they?
He was probably a poor,
Yeah.
They're all on drugs, aren't they? Yeah, he just gets it back, and it's like, well, phew, that was close for a second. No.
After this, Caleb and Pogue are like, there's something fishy about Chase. Let's break into the admissions office that looks a lot like the library, and we'll find out more about him.
I think they finally put a filing cabinet in there. Different set.
Sarah finds a note from Kate when she goes back to the dorm that says she's sick. She's gone to the infirmary. So she phones the infirmary to say what's happened to her. And they're like, we can't tell you that. It's patient confidential. No, I'm just kidding. She's got a fever. And she's like, oh, I'll come over then.
Well, she doesn't say, we'll phone you if there's anything. You don't have to phone me. I'm coming over right now. Okay, it's not visiting hours. You can't do now. You know what I mean?
I like the infirmary, though. The infirmary is always like that place, I don't know, like on Resident Evil or Silent Hill or something, where you're going to find loads of like power-ups and stuff.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be so many
Medikits.
collectibles in there of, we never should have made this monster. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
There's
we also
definitely a
get
wheel
Caleb-
on the wall with like a club symbol and a heart
Yeah.
and a
Yeah.
diamond.
I've only
and
got
you
the
gotta
green
find
key and I need
things.
the red
Yeah.
key. Yeah.
Fucking
I gotta play this fucking piano or open it. Yeah.
Yeah, why
Amazing.
why did something quite as in the modern world as Resident Evil, like Resident Evil 2 as an example, it's in a city, it's in Raccoon City in the middle of like the 90s. Why do you have to play a fucking harpsichord to open up a door?
I don't know. Willy Wonka designed the
They
town.
made a
Question
lot of
mark.
decisions, didn't they, that didn't
Yeah.
pan out well in
Absolutely.
Raccoon City.
Yes,
Um,
it did.
So Caleb and Pogue are snooping around the admissions office, and they've got those little handheld torches, which I thought
Yep.
was good. You've got to do that whenever
Yeah,
you're
I know.
snooping.
But they're wizards. Get a staff. You shall not
Oh,
pass.
that'll cost you.
Will it?
Yeah, I don't know. And Chase's parents, they find out immediately, died in a car accident. His name is Chase Pope, which is the best revelation.
Yeah.
They don't make
Yeah.
enough of him. It sounds like a game in the Vatican. It's brilliant.
Or the other best game, Eat the Pope, which is Crusader Kings 3. Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about the Pope Day.
What, has he done a die or something?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
No.
we'll save that.
Yeah.
This is way darker.
Okay. It's the Pope. One or two things he's done a die or something bad's like, yeah.
Yeah. Pogue's name apparently on his student ID is listed here as Nicholas Parry. And he's also apparently in the Spencer yearbook, the school they go to, as Christopher Parry. So they've changed his name three times in this. And
Continuity. Yeah.
Yeah.
A security guard comes in and they have to hover above him.
Yeah.
Instead of putting the bits of paper down on a table, carry them up with your lads and then let go of them. And then have to use your witch powers to make them hover just above him.
5 years off your life for that.
I know.
Presumably.
You're better off smoking.
Yeah. The other thing they say is that they calculate like the dates between two birthdays or something, and they get that wrong. So it's like, well, you weren't paid attention in contemporary American mathematics class or something. So that's gone in the IMDb trivia for this as well.
Oh, okay.
There's also something about there being 5 brothers of Ipswich. The time when Caleb ascends on his birthday is 11:12 p.m. 1 + 1 + 1 + 2 = 5. Maybe connecting to the fact that there are 5 brothers. Or maybe they just didn't think about it that much.
No.
Yeah, maybe
Maybe he was just born at 12 minutes past 11. What if it was a
For
24-hour
dramatic
clock?
purposes.
That wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, they didn't have those back then.
That'd be 8 then. There's the 3 other, sons of Ipswich,
Or
cousins of
sequel.
Ipswich. Yeah.
Cousins
Oh,
of Ipswich being the title.
Surely they had a 24-hour sundial, didn't they?
Yeah.
Back then?
Guy comes around with ringing a big bell. Knocker uppers. Yeah.
8:30 and all this shit.
Yeah. Because this is all left open for a sequel as well. But I did watch the credits thinking that something was going to happen. Nothing
So
happened.
did I.
Yeah.
Christ, why did you think that? Nothing happens in the film. What would you expect?
I know,
to
but,
credits?
No, just because of the last 4 lines in the film.
No.
Yeah.
I was hoping that what's his face, Bison from the last one.
gonna come out.
Yeah.
Somehow,
Start in
Caleb-
Ipswich.
Somehow Caleb survived.
Yeah. Well, so he's the 5th son of Ipswich from the long deceased family, but his blood is still it doesn't make sense, does it?
Nope.
No.
He's not bound by the Covenant, as it turns out. So that's.
Oh yeah, they said the name of the film as well.
Yeah,
and I was like,
yeah. Janitor doesn't see them at all. They do a nice thing with him sort of looking around and his papers fluttering above his head. He would have heard the rustling of the papers.
He's a janitor. He's £4.20 an hour, mate. He don't care.
He should have had like big headphones in with just blaring music, shouldn't he?
Or a buffer, floor buffer. That'd have been good. Not enough of them in films.
He does look like he's proper kitted out, like he's going to deck somebody that is trespassing. He's not just like a janitor or
I think
a
he's
supply
security.
teacher or something. Yeah,
I think he's supposed to be security because it's a private white school. So
lots of people breaking into the admissions office.
yeah, it's to change their risk scores and play pranks on the dean.
That's not an admission, but yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter. Doctor tells Sarah that Kate seems to be an anaphylactic shock. It looks like lots of spiders have bitten.
Maybe give her some kind of anti-venom then. Nah. Put a tube
Let's
up her nose and leave her in bed.
Let's transfer her to Gloucester. That's the other side of the fucking country to Ipswich. That's my last
'cause
one.
It's where Dr. Foster is, though. He's obviously a specialist in anti-venom.
Well, yeah, that's where the anti-spider defense league is. Yeah, it's so bad they've had to transfer her to Gloucester, Sarah says at one point, and I was like, oh, Christ, it must be bad.
She gets plenty of nice cheese, though.
Oh,
Double. They go immediately to the old man, Gorman Tubery, who doesn't seem to be in. They just go down the stairs to the basement to his fetid underground grotto, is what I've put.
this is the cool Covenant hangout, mate.
Yeah.
So many like guttering candles down there.
I know, always on. Is that like his job? Just make sure there's always candles in there.
That's why his dad's nearly dead, just powering those constantly. They waste some more magic picking up a heavy book.
Yeah.
Use your muscly arms, swim boy.
They get the most out of that because it spins around and there's like flames around it and stuff.
It's cool, but yeah, who are you impressing? They've seen it every time they come down here.
And they look up. So it's Goody Pope, which is
the opposite of today, apparently.
Yes.
Chase the Pope until you get Goody Pope. She denounced somebody at Salem way back when, so they know that it's a family name sort of thing. It's a baddie name. That's why. Sarah calls Caleb at this point, who I don't know that he would have had reception down in that grotty dungeon.
Anyway, because the county's been upgraded. That's why.
Oh yeah.
See?
Makes sense. He says, "All right, I'll come round then." Kate's in a bad way. I don't know what I can do about it.
No,
but
I'm not a doctor.
Anyway.
I don't know what my profession's going to be, despite the fact.
So he tells her to go back to your dormitory, which is presumably covered in horrible infectious spiders. Wait there.
I'll be
round.
Get a net, maybe, or a can of Raid. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't even say that. Could go to that pharmacy. They'll probably do it.
Could go to what was it called?
Cans of Raid loose, just into.
Could go to Angus's Bar and Grill, whatever he was called. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put I Love Rock and Roll on again. Have a boogie.
Billy's ancient pile of bottles.
Yeah.
Oh, my cans, my antique cans.
Yeah. Right, because then this was where it all went fucking mental for me, and I lost what was going on entirely.
I have no idea what goes on.
Right,
yeah, well, we're sort of into the last 30 minutes now.
Because Caleb arrives, right? And
he goes on the road, doesn't he? And he's chasing the road. And Pogue is out on his Ducati as well. So it's raining.
He said, I think is this when they find out that it's probably Chase who's doing all the bad juju, and then he says Kate's in hospital, and Pogue goes, "Whoa, I'm gonna get him!" Gets on his yellow crotch rocket, bamming it along this wet street. Chase is like, he sees him a mile off, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you!" Like, pops a wheelie at him, which I thought was good, like street hockey, you know. Comes at him, and Chase just like flips the bike over. Like, you're supposed to Pogue. You're supposed to be a wizard. Like,
yeah.
Did you not think? You just think, "Oh, I'm going to run him over with my bike. That'll be enough."
Yeah.
He was distracted because Chase's dialogue takes a sudden turn at this point in the film.
Christ! Yeah.
And he says, "Come to see little Miss Muffet, have we?"
Yeah.
Well, you're too late. A spider came and sat down beside her, and now she's gone away.
Yeah.
So what is happening to the?
That's not even the rhyme anyway, is it? But whatever. Yeah. And then he goes, "Oh, I hate nursery rhymes." Right. 100 miles an hour. His bike gets smashed up. He goes bouncing down the road, and that's the last we see of him.
He gets road rashed. Yeah.
Oh, mate, that would have been so
he
much
ends up in the hospital, but he's not doing much after this,
No.
is he? And, he's a horrible man, so fuck him. So Sarah goes for a nighttime stroll back from the infirmary through the murder woods, and goes for a stroll, goes back to her dorm, and then
right.
Caleb's there all depressed, and go on, because this makes no sense to me.
Right, Caleb's there, and he's like, "Oh, it's that explains all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Of what's going on or whatever." And then actual Caleb shows up, right?
Yeah, and she answers the door, and she's like,
"Yeah, as you would do," because I'm like, "What?"
Two Calebs.
Two Caleb.
Oh,
double Caleb. Lucky Pierre in that
that's
sandwich.
The double Gloucester right there.
Jesus. And then he puts. Oh no, it's not even her because she's imaginary as well.
Yes, this is it.
Right, she's imaginary.
So Chase was holding a little dialogue with himself.
Yes, Caleb is having. Caleb turns into. No, Chase turns in. Caleb turns back into Chase, and then Sarah appears on the bed in a coma. Right, and then apparently some shit lands on her face at one point, and he goes, "Stop doing that, or she'll die." And basically, Chase goes, "I want your power."
Yeah.
You have to give me your power. You have to will your power to me so I can have more power And Caleb's like, don't do that because otherwise
It won't work.
It won't work. Yeah, it won't stop you aging. And it's addictive and all this shite. Is in fact they call it using and it's addictive. Is this
I guess it's an
thinly
allegory.
filed
Yeah.
like heroin? Yeah. And
he's also out to get revenge. He's like, I'm going to revenge on you. It's like, what's Caleb done?
Yeah,
He
he
doesn't do
wasn't.
anything.
He wasn't Goody Collins or whatever. Like Goody Pope. He wasn't the good Pope. Like like this bit, I was just like, he just like, went, oh fuck, we need a revenge angle, right? Yeah, he's angry at the world, right? So, and he goes, right, well, okay, let her go, and I'll sort it out once I've ascended? Question mark. I don't know at this point because it doesn't make sense. Because he had the dialogue amongst themselves, unless that was before he arrived, and then as he, I
was completely lost here.
Doesn't bear thinking about, does it?
Well, he gets the important plot point in of you're going to ascend tomorrow on your birthday. Will you power to me, or I'll kill Sarah, I'll kill your nan, I'll kill Nicky behind the bar. You know that guy? Yeah, he's dead as well. All the people you know. Sarah turns all gross, and he's like,
"Some you don't."
Out.
Yeah, stop it. Yeah, and
he says that. Yeah, I tend to like to use a lot, is what he says. Like, even the dialogue is just
I like killing. I'm good at it. You should ask my dead step-parents.
Oh,
because I killed them.
Yeah.
I'll make it look like a car accident because I'm good at those.
Yeah, it's good job. Caleb's good at not car accidents.
Yeah, Transformers.
Opposite powers, that, isn't it?
I'll see you tomorrow at the Nightmare Barn. It's like, that barn.
Yeah,
it's going to get exploded.
Beat it. Yeah.
But then he only gives him a little kiss on the cheek.
Yeah, so, no, that's nice, isn't it?
That'll get all the theorists going. So he undoes all the gross stuff on Sarah's face. She wakes up and she just doesn't get what's happening at all.
Well, she's not the only one at this point, is she? Really?
So he tells her that Pogue's been in an accident. He's knowing that everyone's in the infirmary now.
Yeah, it's good.
Phone up everyone's doing double time over there.
Phone up if you want to know how big his knob is, because that nurse will tell you. Yeah. What's that, nurse? It's like a penis, but smaller. Oh, okay, running joke. Good. Yeah.
And Pogue says something like, if you strike him down, he'll become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. It is like as close as that, is what he says.
They've put that through like a synonym thing, haven't they? They like just use other words for that. Reed, so is this like the night of the fall ball?
Yeah, Reed's like, right, let's deck him. Let's do it.
Yeah. We'll get him in the murder barn. And then Caleb goes, no, I'm going to go to the murder barn. You and Tyler. And Tyler's like, I'm here as well.
Look after Sarah. You've got one job, right? Look after Sarah at the dance.
Literally got one.
Go to the dance. Still go. No reason you shouldn't have a dance.
Want to make things look normal. Evelyn Danders is there as well. And she's like, you need to not use your powers because once you ascend, you'll end up like your father. Oh, you look. Oh, hi, Mark. She literally turns around and goes, "You look nice." She comes down the stairs. And I was like,
she's changed into a ball gown. Like, that's going to be really practical when the shit hits the fan. As you're preparing for it to do tonight.
Yep. Well, Sarah doesn't know, does she? Because she doesn't understand.
No, she'll know soon enough.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have so much flesh exposed if there were all these spiders running around biting people, but there's also like a chair in the side of the room where it's William Danvers III, and he's all gross and hooked up to a drip feed and everything.
Oh, was he there then?
He's there as well.
Why didn't she see him then?
I think she does, and he says he's 44.
Oh, that's when they go to the house again. They go to the house again. He takes upstairs, and like the guardian, the caretaker guy's like, "You shouldn't be here," and he goes, "Fuck off, mate." And he goes, "That's my dad. That's my dad. He's 44.
He's 44 years old,
and he looks like Rupert Murdoch."
I've got to be honest. I'm 44, and I look older than this guy.
No, he looks like a Rupert Murdoch's bollock. Like.
Crikey!
Yeah, he's got he's on a respirator and all this shit.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, so he's right because I want to know now what he spunked all his power on to look.
Oh, I know. I thought we were going to get that.
No, I thought he'd been like he tried to like
scotch and cigarettes.
Well, he's got to keep his wife in bags and booze, hadn't he? Like, but yeah, I thought there was going to be a backstory of him, like trying to, I don't know, run for president or something. But no, he just.
Wait till we get to the prequel. That's what we need.
It's like the Dead Zone.
18 short stories about bollock face Danvers. Yeah.
We get a cut to the party happening. The bell is tolling. They didn't do For Whom the Bell Tolls. That wasn't on the American. That would have been nice, wouldn't it? Would have been able to foreshadow that.
They couldn't
Chase
afford
is
the
hanging around
Metallica
bell
version. Yeah.
Chase is hanging around the bell tower for dramatic effect. And
He jumps off like Nightcrawler and lands.
Yeah.
And
Caleb calls Reed, and he's like, "How's Sarah getting on?" He's like, "Oh, she's fine. Put
she's
her
there
on."
in the back of a shot. And then, like, he goes, "All right, how is she now?" "She's gone." And Tyler goes, "She was there a minute ago." And I'm like, put a fucking bell on her, Tyler. Jesus. You have one job, Tyler.
Chase gets about a bit because Caleb's like, "Oh, do I have to come round there now?" And then Chase is in the road.
Yep.
Like, I think lands on the car or something. And then
He lands on him. And then, like, he gets out. They have a chase. They end up in the murder barn. And then Sarah's doing a best Zool on the...
Yes.
Funnily enough, I noted that she looks like the blowjob ghost out of Ghostbusters.
Fair enough, yeah. I'll give you that.
See the blowjob ghost?
Yeah, I think when it appears and then it disappears.
Ray's getting a blowjob. She's floating above him. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
she appears and then she disappears and all his pants and stuff come off. Like,
Yeah, but you do see her very briefly.
Yeah. I mean, it's a deep cut, but yeah. I watched that scene a lot.
Now, I thought going into this final fight scene, I thought the point wasn't that he was going to use his power to deck him, because what's going to be the point of that? You want him to use as much of his power as possible. You use as little of power to sort of conserve yourself.
That's what I thought was going to be like the twist of it. Has Chase ascended? Because by the rules that we've made up, you can use as much juice as you want until you ascend. Then you only get a bucket and a half. You know what I mean? So, but that's what I thought the plot was going to be. He was just going to exhaust him, so to speak. Oh, there you go. That'll get the theorists going as well. And then he'd be like, and then just push him over, and his knees will shatter or something. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or his back will go, and he'll be like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, he start going on about national service.
Very topical this week.
I know, not evergreen episodes anymore. Yeah, but no, he gets in this murder barn. He's like, "Oh yeah, Sarah's having a hover over there. I can keep that going as well as fight you. Let's do this a lot. Let's do hand
just
gestures."
As well. It's raining because we get the rain, the water as part of the fight, and the wind. It does nothing for me. It looks like dog shit.
There was like 2 good bits in it, but this fight goes on for ages.
Oh
yeah,
All that spinning around that was provided by Circus Soleil, apparently.
All right,
Nightmare Circus Soleil.
Yes.
What, they hired Cirque Soleil to fuck about in a barn?
Pretty much, yeah.
Jesus.
And we get some more Chase dialogue. Taking candy from.
He says loads of weird shit. He does,
loads
of
yeah.
Someone's got a big book of villain catchphrases, and they just didn't go like the good ones.
That's Montgomery Burns, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
But
5, 6,
he also
7 atoms.
Caleb flips into some very unconcerned rats. That was just a bit weird when they were all like sniffing his face, like, "Are you okay?" sort of thing.
Rats care. Rat fans.
And then at one point, the ascending happens. It must hit.
So this goes on for ages, this fight of them chucking like orbs at each other. Caleb catches one of the orbs and like powers it up and fires it back. And I'm like, all right, maybe like he's wearing him down. Like he's becoming less powerful because he's using up. Because he's taking all this stuff and diving out of the way. And no, it's just a bit just to keep the fight going longer. At this point, I think Evelyn... No, sorry, he ascends, doesn't he? He holds him up like, and he ascends because it's Reed goes, "Happy birthday, Caleb." Not like, "Oh shit, maybe we should go and look for him," because like 3 of us against him might be better than him on his own. You know, the power of 3. You know,
what are we still doing here without Sarah, the one person we were supposed to protect? And where is he?
Well, Tyler's eating paste in the fucking corner at this point, and you know he's glued his head to the curtains or something. So he goes, "Ha, ascending, are we?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
yes, yeah, it is the time.
It's the shit quickening, is what it is."
He also says, "I'm going to make you my weotch."
Yay! That's the best bit. That was it. Yeah, which I don't know what that means, but well done on that terrible pun. The fight goes. They go outside to have a fight outside for a bit. Why not?
Because they caused massive structural damage to that ancient barn.
Well, at one point, he pulls a lot of rather new-looking garden forks off the side and plants them at him. And one of them lands and goes as it lands as well.
We get
So-
a defenestration as well. That's how they get
Yeah,
outside.
that's how he gets
Sick.
outside. But this, as while all this is happening, Evelyn is talking to Rupert Murdoch's gonad, and she's like, "Do something for your son, you old bastard." And he's like, "Bleh." And she goes, "Go on, let's finish this film, because otherwise we'll be here all fucking night." And he goes, "I will you my power." And there's another storm in the main storm, like a separate substorm. And he gets all juiced up. This was the best. This was the other bit that made me laugh. The other bit was when he pulls him to him with the tendrily fingers. I thought, that was quite good. Yeah. But this bit, Chase does a backflip into like the hayloft bit of the barn.
Yeah.
And as Caleb gets powered up, he just fucking explodes it, and Chase goes flying. That was good. That was a good stunt. And he's got all his powers, and he throws energy at him. He comes up with him, and he holds the energy. He explodes him into the barn, and he disappears. That's like no blood, no body.
No.
He just falls into some kind of vortex.
Obliterates him.
Yeah.
He carries Sarah out of there as well.
Because it's on fire, right? And at no point does he think, hang on, I'm a fucking wizard. I could just like move this fire out of the way. No, he's pushing
this listed building that I could possibly save.
I'll put her into this cart full of manure. It did actually look like that. I'm not just.
It was like a bring out your dead cart.
Oh, I think Biff's just about to crash into it.
He hates manure.
Oh man. And then like the fire brigade are there, and
everyone wakes up. By the way, Kate wakes up in the hospital. Pogue wakes up from like internal damage, but that's all gone now because the person that instigated it is presumably dead.
Is that how it works?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. So everyone's okay. We never see Reed. We never see Tyler again.
Good.
But they're both sat in his convertible with the windscreen all smashed because Chase put it through. The fire brigade go, "We've not found any bodies. On your way." Not, "Why have you burnt this historical building down?"
Yeah.
Don't worry
By the
about
way,
that.
your windscreen's smashed.
So, but yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about that. Just drive off.
He fixes it.
No, and Sarah goes, "Well, where's Chase?" And Caleb goes, "I don't know." And then he goes, fixes the windscreen, which again I think is an unnecessary. Just call Autoglass. Autoglass repair.
Autoglass replace.
You have to, don't you?
I've got to wonder if that's covered under the insurance, by the way, or if just because that just seems like he's wasting more of his power on yet a further automobile fixing.
The fifth thing he could get covered. Maybe his excess
All right,
is massive.
this is the last one.
And maybe the lad that they made sick earlier on just really hated cars. So maybe that's why they did it.
He's like, you should get push bikes, killing the planet. Yeah, and then they just drive off. And then as they drive down the road, the camera goes to sepia, like they've gone to Mexico. And that's it. And I watched the credits.
It was chapter 17 in the big book of the Ipswich Witches. Oh, that's quite hard to say. Ipswiches.
Yeah, Ipswich.
That's what it should have been called.
Should have been called the Dickheads. It closes. Credits. I watched all the credits, thinking at the end of it, Caleb was going to go with an evil beard or something. But no, now just ends, and I was like, that was terrible. I genuinely hated this. Just because nothing happens for an hour, and then a really
many
confusing
ways
thing happens, and then
it's the curse of the Nightmare Barn. Never put a Nightmare Barn in.
No, I'm trying to think of any good films that have got nightmare barns in them, and I honestly can't. But yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know what Faye would have done if she was here to defend this film, because it's fairly indefensible. Nobody even gets set on fire.
Maybe it's all in the facts. Let's find out.
Well, no, before we get to the facts, your scores, Planty?
4 Ipswiches.
Okay.
Just like straw ones, though. Rubbish ones.
The scoring for this year's end of year film is going to be a nightmare.
Well, same for me, because I've gone with 4 bronze double Gloucesters, but that would give it 8, wouldn't it? I don't want to give it 8. 4 single Gloucester. Is that a thing? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
They look kind of bronze.
I'm going to go with 2 bronze ball bags. 1 bronze ball bag, but 2 balls. Yeah.
Yeah,
because
horrible.
It felt like this should have been an episode of Charmed. If it was an hour long, it would have been a lot better. But nothing happens for so much of it.
That was 2006's The Covenant. We've not done a 2006 film before. So, yeah, it was the same year as Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. Remember that? The Da Vinci Code, Casino Royale, X-Men Last Stand. That was all right. It was also known as Sutatis su Satonu in Lithuania, or A Deal with Satan.
Yeah.
Satan wasn't in it, so that feels like
It would have been better
nowhere.
if Caleb was a big donut, though.
I've got a big land of the donuts right there. It's also known as Silitenne in Czech Republic, which translates to the forces of darkness. And it's also known as Pacto Infernal in Argentina.
Which means...
I'm not even going to...
Oh, right. Sorry. Took me a second there.
Yes. It had a budget of 20 million. It made 37.6 million at the box office and a further 26.5 million in DVD sales, incredibly giving it a combined total of $64 million, which is about 50 million pounds. That's enough to buy you over 3,000 new Ducati 749s, which are worth about 13.5 grand each. Or 64 cursed black Orlov diamonds. They're now estimated at about $1 million. They were sold the year that this film came out last for $352,000. They're originally from India, the black Orlov diamond is rumoured to have been one of the eyes of the statue of Brahma, the Hindu creator god. It was stolen from its original place in Pondicherry by a Jesuit cleric, and the diamond was directly then linked to 3 mysterious deaths of its owners. In 1932, the diamond dealer J.W. Paris reportedly took the diamond to the United States and soon after committed suicide by jumping from a skyscraper in New York City. Later owners of the diamond included 2 members of the famously lucky Russian royal family who were both claimed by the curse when they jumped off a tall building. The diamond was recut in the 1950s specifically to break the curse. This is true.
Feels like it's going to piss it off more.
So
little bonus curses hanging around then.
This film had a comic book prequel to the movie released by Sony's time with the film release.
Wow.
No details out there about what that contains. But
mate.
presumably about how his dad ended up a ball bag. Since then, in 2016, actor Sebastian Stan, who was Chase, posted a reunion photo of himself with co-stars Taylor Kitsch and the others on Instagram, joking that there would soon be a Covenant 2 coming to theatres in 2034. That's silly, man.
It'll all be the age of his dad then as well, if not older.
That's what I'm thinking, you see.
We're all bollocks
2
now,
plus
boys.
0 plus 3 plus 4 means there's going to be 9 of them. Shot largely in Quebec, Montreal, and Bishop's University in Sherbrooke, Quebec. I'm sure I saw something around the pub that said Sherbrooke, so I think they didn't clear out enough mentions of the Canadian place. But yeah, anyway, it was written and directed by Rennie Harlin, Finnish director who first made his name by accidentally sabotaging Finno-Soviet diplomatic relations with his film Arctic Heat. Should have called Baked Alaska. 3 US students.
No, don't let that hang.
3 American students vacationing in Finland cross the border, as they do, cross the border into Russia just for fun of it. When they're spotted by Russian soldiers who are shooting to kill, it's not fun anymore. Captured and thrown in jail, they find it's not fun either. It's a nightmare.
Is that what it actually says, or have you made that up?
It's a nightmare.
This gulag's terrible.
Yeah, later directed Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Too Many Elms, 1988. Die Hard 2, 1990. He was also on record as saying, I don't want accidents, I want disasters. I don't want dirt, I want filth. I don't want a storm, I want a hurricane. I don't want fear, I want panic. I don't want suspense, I want terror. And I don't want humour, I want hysteria. And then he went on to do Cutthroat Island, 1995.
Oh, he got hysteria with that, all right.
Yeah, PG pirate film that tanked so hard it still holds the Guinness World Record as the biggest box office bomb.
Gina Davis, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's
I believe so.
Just a little tie in there as well, though. Die Hard last week, Die Hard 2 this week.
Yeah, well, another tie-in later on, another 2 tie-in.
Oh.
It's credited as having a chilling effect on all Hollywood pirate films until Pirates of the Caribbean in 2003.
Yeah, they keep making Peter Pan films that can't make money. And Robin Hood ones as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've done a Robin Hood film, but we've not done a Peter Pan film. We've not done a pirate film either. So
all right, that's fine. I'm not doing Ice Pirates.
Oh, damn it! By the way,
Pirates Adventures with Scientists.
I've found a copy of the Covenant comic book on eBay, $6.99 plus postage.
That's too much money.
It is far too much money.
I'll look on my illegal comic book website. It'll probably be on there. I mean, yeah, I'll buy it.
Con. No, stupid. Caleb, played by Stephen Strait, best known for The Expanse, but boring apart from that, so I'll move on. Chase, Sebastian Stan, the Winter Soldier, but apart from that, he's in Butt Kiss. That's right, the Edie Falco, John Pesky, and Pete Davidson TV show, Butt Kiss. Comes around to School Dance at the end, doesn't it?
Certainly does.
Pogue,
Oh,
Taylor Kitsch, Gambit in X-Men.
Mhm.
My favourite one, actually, but in the earlier, not that. As well as John Carter in the film John Carter, who's
Oh,
also in
yeah.
Snakes on a Plane.
is
He fumbled.
John Carter a sequel to Get Carter?
Yes.
Sweet.
You're a big man, but you're out of shape. To me, I live on Mars. That's something I
The
don't.
Journey to the Centre of the World knockoff that we watched was
Yeah.
based on an Edgar Rice Burroughs thing that's also.
Yeah, it's like
John
4
Carter.
hours long, I think.
Oh,
really,
I'll watch
really
it now.
long.
I remember it being out,
Yeah.
and I just couldn't be bothered. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Taylor Kitsch fumbled his first reading for the part of Gambit in X-Men Origins because he's too tired. He got his managers to get him another audition because he felt very confident about the role, which is the most white person backstory I've ever read.
I'm too tired to do my audition. Get me another one for this massive Hollywood blockbuster.
So moving on to Sarah,
Old
Laura
kitschy.
Ramsey. He was very kitsch. 2006's She's the Man, which I don't think I've seen, but I'm aware of. I think
That's
it's
Amanda Burns pretends to be a boy for
Yeah.
football. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those take your glasses off, my God, you're beautiful sort of ones. isn't
Yeah,
it? I
Yes.
think,
pretty
yeah.
much. Yeah.
But also 2005's Cruel World, which is a killer clown slasher film. Be all right.
Ooh.
And 2012's Hero Kin, The Last Samurai.
Oh, we're not done a
Oh,
samurai film either.
Could be a bit
Haven't-
racist. Yeah.
Well, on a
Only
planet
if John
where-
Wayne's in it.
Imagine yourself on a planet where humans must scavenge the post-apocalyptic barren wasteland.
Sick.
Hirokin, a reluctant samurai with a dark past, sets off on a mission to fulfill his destiny. Having fought to the death to save his wife and son from the planet's evil dictator, Griffin, and his elite army of warriors, the lone samurai is left dead in a vast desert. Armed with his samurai blade, Hirokin is forced to choose between avenging the murder of his family and fighting for the freedom of his people. As he goes to war, he'll discover a shocking revelation about his family, leaving revenge running through his veins. It's
his
rated
dad is Michael
3.3.
No, it's
Oh,
yeah.
but that's got-
I
Us
like the fact
written all
it says
over it.
it says reluctant samurai. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, go on, I'll put the armor on.
my favourite kind of samurai.
And I'll finish on Provost Higgins because you knew he was going to do something. Registered trademarks on IMDb are receding hairline and white hair. I don't think he can claim that.
No, Edgar
But-
Winter claiming that, do you? Jeez.
He's got 242 film credits, including The Day After Tomorrow, is probably his most famous one. 2004, As Old Man Shouts a Cloud, probably. The War Boy, 1985. And I don't fully understand the plot of this. During World War II, a boy and his sister, orphans of their mother, try to survive without the help of their father,
It's fucking-
Surely that's orphan anyway.
Is it Rimmer giving this fucking dictation?
A member of the resistance and a and is still
Apostrophe.
forced to endure the evil
Semicolon.
stepmother. So I don't. It's about the war, but an evil stepmother. Anyway, he
I
was
thought
then-
it was going to be about Victor Meldrew's next door neighbour, Mrs. Walmart.
1987's
Witness
and
her.
then you 1987's and then you die, a crime thing. And Time Cop, 1994, the Van Damme film.
Time Cop's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, Time Cops.
Yeah,
He
and
does the
that's
splits
our-
in that one, for definite. In his little scants.
And that's our link to last week's show. And thus,
Wow.
James Fax ambles away into a set of nostrils. CGI spider, it really is.
Now, weirdly, because of who this is pitched at, it has a lot of middling to good reviews, because I'm assuming it's aimed at, yeah. But this one, it was 3 stars, meh, by Pom Pom Chick 3.
I feel similarly, Pom Pom Chick 3.
February 2007, so, less than a year. Wow! So, this movie was very hard to understand. The Darklings made no sense to me whatsoever, and the way the scenes shift in sequence, it's practically impossible to tell what's going on. The dialogue is very cheesy, and the special effects weren't that good. And the spiders were alright. There doesn't seem to be a point to the movie till about 2/3 of the way through. We need to find this woman and get her on. And there was very poor acting. The music was decent, and the costumes of choice were okay. A lot of black. The best thing about this movie was the four guys were very hot. Superficial, I know, but hey, I'm 17. Oh, I didn't read this far down. A lot of the scenery and settings were obviously fake, and the movie made too many attempts at scare scenes. When? What bits of this were meant to be the spiders?
I guess you could call them attempts at scare scenes.
Well, everything is. Depends what you're frightened of, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's almost a tank engine scares the
doors.
fuck out of me. Trains with faces on them. It's horrific. Made to work in slavery on Sodor? No.
No, Ringo, no.
Yeah.
Yes, we do have them in Britain.
Peace and love. Except to trains.
Not to mention the fact that it was set up for a sequel. It was. I thought it was. Where they drove.
Yeah. The way that it didn't end properly at all. Yeah.
No, it just kind of farted to an ending, didn't it? Overall, not my pick for a good movie. I was hyped up way more than I thought it was worth. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Pom Pom Chick.
You've learned a lesson there, Pom Pom Chick.
I hope she's grown up now to be Pom Bear. I think I like them. Yeah, I like I said, I think it's specifically designed for people to fill that gap between Harry Potter and Twilight.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Because we only got the swimming scene, but there was a lot of vests as well.
It felt like there was a lot of compromises there.
Vests and
It's like I don't really know who it was pitched at, because it doesn't feel like it successfully pitched at anyone.
Is it maybe a kind of a spooky The OC, maybe? Do you know what I mean? It's that's kind of it's kind of around that time, isn't it? So is it that let's move it on to, Pretty Boys, and then obviously Twilight did it better? Question mark.
Yeah,
did it more successfully.
Yeah, there you go.
It got his money back, didn't it?
Yeah. It's again, I think it's something of a cult film amongst certain groups of people, because it is kind of shite, and with great lines such as Harry Potter can kiss my ass and I will you nothing, which I'm fairly sure was a Bros song. Like, it's I
haven't earned 64 Black or Love diamonds, so who am I to comment?
But yeah, that was 2006's The Covenant, not the Guy Ritchie Covenant. I mean,
never will be with that attitude.
No. Your favourite lines from the film?
Sure.
Nope. Okay.
Like taking candy from a baby.
Yeah, I'll pick at what you're having. Stop picking at what I'm having. Order your own food.
I'm going to make you my Weotch.
Weotch, yeah.
Oh, Weotch. Yeah. Oh, take care, Master Caleb.
Doesn't he also say witchy? Ooh, did I say witch? I don't know what that means either. Like,
yeah. And I was kind of like, are you wizards? Are you witches?
I think they're warlocks. That's a male witch, isn't it?
Is that, what's his name? Julian Sands?
Oh, that one. That's a good one. Yeah, I like that.
He's creating